Welcome to Eye on the Illini Live. It is halftime. Kedrick Prince, Mike Kegley. We are here talking about Illinois up 38 to 31 over Indiana at the half. Ked, your impressions of the first half?
Well, let's start off with the most important thing. One of the most important things is good to have Colin Boswell back after missing 6 or 7 games. I think that is huge for Illinois. You can see his presence on the defensive end of the floor. Probably one of the most impressive things I've seen for him that he's knocked down a three, and on top of the fact he's guarding, because it was a shooting hand that he hurt, which was huge to see him do that. Now the rotation extends. Keaton was able to get a little blow, I believe. I have to check. I thought he did at one time. Maybe I'm wrong. But Illinois looks really good right now defensively. Indiana's a really explosive offensive team too, Mike. Even though Illinois, I think they're getting a hand in their face. They're doing a really, really good job. Wilkinson is a big scorer. He already has 14 points, and I'd love to see Merkovic get going the way he's going with 15, and Keaton. He hasn't hit a three yet, but they're in the game. I just want them to be able to get some stops, and they have a lead. We saw this last time out, Mike. They had a lead, and they didn't capitalize on it. But Indiana's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I look at this game and you look at the stats. Illinois shooting 45%, Indiana 46. Illinois is shooting 31 from the three, exactly the same as Indiana. And then you have Illinois at the free throw line, basically at 100% at 3 for 3, and Indiana's at 50% at 1 for 2. I got to be honest with you, I don't have too many complaints about the first half. I thought the game was called pretty well. Even with what's his face, high knees involved. At least you didn't have you didn't have a lot of back calls that I just thought, oh my gosh. Illinois only one turnover, Indiana 2. Total rebounds, Illinois 18 to 12, with a 7-3 advantage on the offensive end. And I thought there was a couple possessions where Illinois, that rebounding and height, just overall height, was just a big advantage for them. Second chance points 4 to 5, so Indiana slight advantage there. Points off turnovers 5 to 2 for the Illini. Bench points 5 to 2 for Indiana. Points in the paint 20 to 14 for Illinois. 2 fast break points by Illinois, 0 for Indiana. A real up and down the court game here, Ked. And 2 blocks for the Illini, 2 steals for the Illini, 0 at both for Indiana. 6 assists for Indiana, 7 for Illinois. And you're looking at Illinois had the lead for 14 minutes and 40 seconds of this half. Merkovic with 15, Wagler with 11, Boswell with 5, Jake Davis with 3, 2 for each of the Ivasic brothers, and 5 rebounds for Merck, 4 for Humrickhouse. So it's a team type of thing. I think it's been a pretty good half here for the Illini.
It's been a good half. We saw the same, song and dance against Wisconsin. It's a different game, but you want to be able, you're going to have to continue to score. You can't have scoring droughts this time out because Indiana's going to put points on the board. And the one thing I've really noticed, it's kind of tough for people to maybe realize is that Illinois, because of who they are and where they are nationally and what people are saying about them, you're going to get everybody's best shot. Everybody's best shot. And I think the fact that Illinois is a great rebounding team, offensively especially, teams are really focusing on that, which is fine. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but so that's why paying attention to little things, the details matter. You have to do what you do and be smart about it. Like you said, they have 1 turnover, I believe. You don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want to go on scoring droughts where you don't score because you can't stop, and then you have to go down. You're going down to the wire and you're worried about, well, you know what we should have done here when we had this lead and then do that. You want to avoid all that. So, keep scoring. If you can get a couple of stops, that'll be huge. On a different path, one of my favorite things about CBS Sports, I'm a big Clark Kellogg fan. It's kind of disappointing in a way, but it's also a good thing. He always comes on at the end of the year. I think he's good for college basketball. He has a lot of good cliche skills, which I really like about him. But when he's on and you're on CBS, that typically means the season is winding down.
Yeah, and it is good to have the Illini on the CBS game. These are important games to play well and have opportunity to win. And it's interesting to me, we'll probably talk about this more at the end of the game when we will also have Marcus Griffin on, as well as we're going to do our best to get Brad Sturdy on. We will talk a little bit about the fact that I really think Illinois is kind of like there's like a subdivision in the Big Ten of teams who play with Illinois, kind of trying to spread the ball and get it in. You've got Illinois, you've got Nebraska, you've got Indiana, you've got Iowa. There's a lot of teams here that if you let them cook on the offensive end, Ked, if you slow down, they will catch you.
And they're going to. You're exactly right. I mean, there's some really good offenses in the Big Ten. Everybody's looking. Everybody has shooters. They have guys that can put the ball on the floor. I do think one advantage Illinois does have is the size. Keegan Wagner was able to get to the basket at will. I still like to see them get more post touches. I think, and then the thing with the post touches, I don't see a lot of with Illinois. I'm not a fan of. Once they throw the ball in the post, they don't relocate. They throw the ball in the post and they stand there. And then because if you move, especially if it's coming from the perimeter, like I guess where the B position is with the officials, slide down to the baseline and make yourself available because the defender's backs to you because sometimes they're digging. So I would like to see that part of it. I would like to see them do that, and I think that's good. But especially guys like Jake and Keaton Wagner, who are really, really good 3-point shooters.
Yeah, I think so too, and I do think that Illinois needs to kind of figure that out. We saw a nice movement in the corner. Jake Davis did kind of a nice move on a drive and made himself an easy target, and then ended up pretty good defense forced him to actually drive on the baseline. But it was good to see that movement. And I think Merkovich he is so smart. I know that he likes to have a sense of humor and everything, but Ked, I see him doing a really good job of grabbing advantages when he can. So he will actually go in and make sure he's hitting the boards hard, particularly when he has the mismatch. And I think he's used that his 6'8", 6'9" height very effectively.
I think he's one of the most underrated players in college basketball. Obviously, the interest and all the love surrounding Keegan Wagner, which he definitely deserves. Then you have people talk about how tall they are every game. They don't turn the ball over, and then how they out rebound people. But he's just a difference maker. I mean, I thought he played really well against Michigan State. He just has baskets, and he keeps you in games. I mean, he had some crucial turnovers in the Wisconsin game, but you know what? You can say that about a lot of players, a lot of people, but he is so underrated. If there wasn't such a great year in this freshman class, he would be talked about a lot more himself. He's effective. He looks awkward. He runs different. His shot looks different. It's a set shot, but he's so effective at shooting it, and he's really good at it, and he rebounds really, really well. He's just an underrated player that I think deserves a heck of a lot more credit than he's getting.
Yeah, and we got to give DeVries credit. I think somebody mentioned it in the comments section. He went back in with 8 or 9 minutes in the half, and with 2 fouls, and played very effective ball. Didn't get him take any chances that gave a referee the opportunity to blow the whistle. I think anytime a player takes the whistle out of their mouth, so to speak, you're probably doing the good thing for yourself and your team. And I've been impressed by Wilkerson. He is 6 for 9. I will say one thing though, Ked, he is hitting hard shots. You kind of hope that maybe he comes back to earth a little bit in the second half.
That's what's tough and frustrating. I think Illinois played really good defense. Indiana's made tough shots, like you said. Wilkerson's made tough shots, and sometimes as a, fan, reporter, or whatever, you want to see teams struggle. Everybody seems to have just not a career day, but just not a bad shooting day. Everybody shoots the ball really, really well against them, or they make free throws. And like Illinois had a hand in their face. They're contesting shots. Yeah, there was a couple of backdoor layups that you're going to miss off some really, really good sets that Indiana ran, and I think that's great. But it would be nice just to get teams to not have really, really good shooting nights against Illinois. I mean, Indiana is shooting 46% from the field, and that's pretty average. But if you can get a team of 39 or 40, it gives you a chance to increase your lead. And and that's not happened. Hasn't happened a lot, but like I said, I don't want to contradict myself. You're going to get you're going to get a lot of teams' best offense and best effort because the way Illinois goes and celebrates when they beat teams and their road kills. I don't know if anybody saw it, Mike, if you saw it. And I'm not mad. I think it's great. When Wisconsin came to town the other day and they beat Illinois, it was Jake Davis night. And I saw Greg Gard go to the locker room with the Jake Davis wig on. I thought that was great. I think that's good for college basketball. But also what it means is Illinois, I think they've arrived just nationally. A lot of people picking them to go to the Final Four. They have to get healthy first. And I think the higher seed they get, the better chance they get. Somebody made a comment to me last night. I don't know if you agree with it. This is a really good chance that they could make a run because there's no UConn this year. Arizona's good. They were one of the teams, last standing teams. Michigan's good, but so is Illinois. I don't think there's any tears. I think Duke's beatable. I think Illinois can play with all these teams right now. Beginning of the season, not so much so, but right now, I think there's no dominant UConn like they had a couple of years ago, and anybody can be beat.
I do think that one thing Illinois needs is to get everybody healthy at the same time. Obviously, Boswell's back. He's feeling good. He looks good out there on the court. You want to get Stojakovic back and, to at least have the 8 guys that Coach Underwood likes to play. We'll see how that story progresses. But, boy, one more body would be nice to have out there in these situations.
It would be. What I hope I don't see. I hope. But I don't know how they're going to do it. That's up to the coaches. That's why they make a small amount of money. Sarcasm. I want to continue to see Jake Davis on the floor. I think he brings a different dimension. He is a really, really good 3-point shooter. And how about him going to look for rebounds now? And I don't think the people in his camp were too happy last time against Wisconsin. His lack of effort rebounding. Jake's becoming more of a rounded player. He's taking the ball to the basket. He's got some layups. Like, go back to the Purdue game. He got a couple. So his playing time I think, has changed the offense. It really has. And I hope they continue to keep him on the floor. I like when he's on the floor because he is a threat every time he shoots the basketball. I think it's going to go in, and that's a confident thing. And in your team as well. So, even though you get Andre back, that's a nice weapon to have because, also by being hurt, Kylan's sitting out, rests his legs. Stojakovic sitting out, rests his legs. Keaton not so much. We obviously don't want to see him get injured. But this is a good thing for them, moving forward long term.
Yeah, I think so as well. Second half, as I look at this, Ked, I guess the 2 things that I really want them to do is I want the Illini to maintain that rebounding. I think that puts additional pressure on Indiana, and I'd like them to take a look and go after some mismatches because there is some height opportunities that Illinois can exploit to make this a victory. What do you look at as the keys in the second half?
The mismatches we talked about, and I hope to see that. Mike, they haven't done it yet. I need to see them do that, take advantage of that. But there was one sequence, which I'm sure we all remember. They got, 4 offensive rebounds in a row. Those are momentum killers, especially if you can do that and then you can score on top of it. Rebound, and you have to get a couple stops at key times. Indiana's going to close the gap at some point. If Illinois doesn't come out and torch them, Indiana, this will be a 3 or 4 point game at some point in time. But how you get stops and how you rebound and not looking for the hero play at one time, get the win and move on. You've lost 2 in a row, which this is uncharacteristic waters for Illinois. Do the little things right now that it's going to take you to do to get the win.
Yeah, I agree totally. And then I think the other thing, I guess, is we're looking at here is one final wrap is it'd be nice to see Rickhouse, knock down another 3 and get a little more. And I'd like to see the Ivisic brothers be a little bit more assertive this half.
The one person that we really want to see, I think, offensively is Tommy because he has the ability to go in the post. Utilize that post presence that you have. Nobody has stopped him in the post. He's so effective with that little jump hook, and he shoots well with both hands. It would be nice to get Zonovan to get a 3 or 2 goal in the second half, but you got to get stops. I mean, I don't care about all the analytics and where they rank 24th in the Ken Palm and all that stuff or wherever they are. You know, I want to see the eye test. Go out there and get stops, get turnovers like Ben Rickhouse, who played up the line, got a fast break layup, lob dunk for Big Z. Those are things that you want to see. I want to see that energy. I want to see Colin Boswell make a difference in the game, Mike. I think the game has started too, buddy.
Yep. We'll get going. We'll be back 10 minutes after the game, folks. 10 minutes after the game. Until then, go Illini.